Everyone, very good afternoon. And in this current tutorial, we are going to see the continuation of our last tutorial where we launched a web application. So we saw how we can host a web application in cloud, and this was the outcome of last session where we launched an employee directory application, and it was successfully up and running. But as I told you, there was no database and no storage for non-structured data like images or etc. So that's what we are going to do today, and we are going to create a completely and fully functional application. Okay. So what we are going to see is how we are going to do that, right? So if you remember, we attached a role to the EC2 instance. So if you have any doubt, I believe you must have seen my last video. But if you have not, you must watch this how to launch a web application on cloud. So please go and watch this video, without which you cannot continue on this session. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this is our channel. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. This is technical lab. So let's start with that. So first of all, you have to create a role if it is not created. So I had attached a role to the EC2 instance. Okay, so this is the role you have to create, and you have to go to IAM and roles, and you have to create role, and you have to give it some name. And but then in the permissions, you have to add these three permissions. Like EC2, it should have EC2 full access, S3 full access, and Amazon DynamoDB full access. So this is the role which I have attached to the EC2 instance. Now if you go to EC2 instance, and you have to verify if it is having that role or not. Okay, so if you go to security, see there is an IAM role which is attached here. So if it is not attached, you have to do that, right? So once that is done, what you have to do is you have to go to a bucket, and you have to create a bucket. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create a bucket and give a bucket name like my app bucket or anything that you want, but that it has to be unique, across all the AWS accounts. Okay, so I'm just giving it something like uh, my channel name technical lab. Okay, so and then the region is okay, so let it be whatever it is. I can put it also in the Mumbai region, which is my AP South one. AP South one. Okay, AP South one. Right. So okay, so once this is done, and what you have to do is you have to block all public access. Okay, because we don't want the public access at this moment. And then what you have to do is you have to keep it as it is, and then click on create bucket. Okay, so now this is must not contain uppercase. Okay, that's fine, so I'll just remove this. Okay, so now if we click on this turning off acknowledge, so I'm just turning off all the public access, because we're going to add a permissions to this. Turn in uppercase. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so I'm creating the bucket now. So once the bucket is created, what you have to do is you have to click on this bucket, and then you have to go to permissions, and here you have to add some policy, right? Because without which we don't have any access to this bucket. So you have to click on edit policy, and here you have to put read S3 read access, right? So I have already, so you see you can either you can create your statement like this, add a new statement if you click. So it will allow you to put the service statement ID, then the principal, effect, action, and resource. So I've already created one which I am going to use. So this is what we are going to use here. So if I just paste it here, so this is what is going to be my policy. Okay, and then I'll click on so there are no errors, so click on save changes. What is the error now? Okay, okay, so resource is not correct. Okay, so I believe I'll have to change this to technical lab, right? Because this was the resource which is I created earlier, so I have to change it to this. Okay, so this is how we created the policy. So now this only this can be accessed through this policy. So we have this role, right? That's what we have created. Okay, so now this role is again this is a different role, but which is the same role as my earlier role. Either you can change it to what is there in the instance right now, this one, or you can keep it as it is because both are the same. Okay, so once this is done, what you have to do is you have to go to your application and go to configuration. Let me try, and click on this change button and put the bucket name here. Okay, so what is our bucket name? So this is our bucket name. Okay, and then we'll put it here and we'll try to save it and see what is happening. Is it able to access that or not? Okay, so it is not able to access, right? Because I believe because of the I think let me change this role also, because we have set the role like this. So this is our role, and this is where I have to change the role here. Okay, so it should look like this. Thought it would work, but let me try. Okay, so I'll just change this role here. And let me try. Okay, so I'll go and click on save. What's this now? Valid resource. Same thing again. So this is how the policy should be set. Okay, and then click on save. So once the policy is set, let me try and click on this. So click on change, and what was the name of the bucket you have to give here? Okay, so now you see the S3 access is enabled now. So now if you go to images, you will be able to access your bucket images, but then you see now the S3 bucket error is gone, but there are no images. Let me just try to quickly upload some of the images to my bucket. Okay, so we'll click on upload and add files. So we'll just take any random, I don't want to take anything. So click on this and then click on upload. Okay, so this is so my file is uploaded. So now if I go to my application and try to refresh it, yeah, so my see the image is uploaded and successfully accessible from the app. Right, so this is the non-structured data storage. Now let's talk about the structured data, like the table, like the DynamoDB table which we talked about, which is not accessible. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to your dashboard or DynamoDB. So here you have to search DynamoDB, which gives you quick access to um, tables. So if you want to create fast and flexible table, I think this is the best option. And the best part is it allows you to create a number of attributes dynamically. So you don't need to define the number of attributes. You can add or reduce the number of attributes, so as per your requirement. So if you click on create table, so just give the table name like my employee, my table, my application is set to look for employees table, so I'll just create the same table. And you have to of course set one primary key, which is a id, and then let's just keep everything else as it is, and let's click on create table. So once it is created, you may have to wait for some time. Okay, so just click on refresh, and you see now the table is accessible or not. Let me just try and go back to our application. So if you now click on this application, you see all the errors are gone, and you have your fully functional employee directory web application. Okay, so as simple as that. It really looks great, and you can see everything is working as expected. So let's just try and add a new employee. So let's say I'll give my name, location, Mumbai, email, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So, and you can take a photo which is present in your bucket, or you can upload a new photo. So I'll just you know whatever it is in the bucket, I'll just take it for just now. Okay, so click on add, and you see the employee is successfully added. Let's just verify from the back end whether the his entry is added or not into the database. So you just have to go to the table and select this table, and then get live item count, start scan, and then there is one item if you can see. And here, if you go explore items, see there is this item which is present here. Okay, this is what I have added. You can also do vice versa. Create an item, and id is by default, so you have to give some id like 1 2 3 4 5 or something. Add a new attribute. This is what I was talking about. So you can define attributes dynamically, as per your requirement, like whatever it is. So this is the best part about it. So location, likewise. So I'm just adding an entry from the backend side, and we are going to see whether we are able to access that from the front end or not. Okay, so any test email, whatever it is, so should be in this format. String, what was that? Anything else we have here? Location, email, photo. So photo, we are not going to upload from here. Okay, so yeah, let it be removed. Okay, so now I'll click on create item. So you see the item is created here, but is it accessible from the application end? So you just click on refresh, and you see the second employee is also created. So there's no photo here. You can also try and update from here. So just select the item and click on edit, and you can upload a new photo, or just for the time being I'm taking the same photo. Update. So once this is updated, you see it is updated here, and go back there, and you can see here that photo is accessible here also, right? The screenshot. Okay, so this is how it is, and you have your fully functional web application which can be accessed from internet, and this is what I wanted to display in this tutorial. You have more doubts about it, you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to our channel, and the best part, you should always support us, because without which we cannot continue further. So always appreciate your help and support, and please subscribe if you like it. Thank you for watching.